Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for SUI, render and FET price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna see what happened in those coins. Of course, during the weekend and during our live analysis in the weekend, we mentioned, of course, that these coins are very critical right now, that they might see, of course, some reversal toward the upside. As we can see for the SUI here, on the 1 hour chart, we took already invalidation of bearish, meaning if we are in a 1, 2, 3 wave 4 here, moved, of course, for the invalidation of bearish, and even by five ways toward the upside. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far, kind of like unfolding for higher prices. And of course, we can call this even here as a diagonal. As you can see, a leading diagonal, sorry, as a 1-2 potentially, and the wave 3 is unfolding toward the upside right now. So basically, if we are looking for a wave 3 there, it is preferable, of course, that we reach this target over there in the blue box, and 1.618, which is the most common target, is required here in this case scenario. And what it might be the case here, it can be, of course, if we finished here in 3 waves down, well, we have to call a W, X, and a Y over there. And that means, of course, 3 waves toward the downside. Don't forget that we can count this definitely as a W here. You have an X and you have kind of a wave Y over there, finished without, of course, the wave 5 for a wave C. And that means, of course, the ABC that we're still looking for still need, don't forget that still need a wave 5 in the case that we're still, of course, looking for lower, but of course the invalidation has been taken. And that means, of course, something else is starting to unfold here new for a SUI, and we might start to see, of course, something moving for higher prices. It can be a rebound, it can be a rebound rally, but don't forget also on the daily here for SUI, what it might be the scenario that it is unfolding is the potential triangle. Meaning, if we are in a way 3 ways toward the upside, we are in a potential A, B, C, and you are looking for a wave D, E, and then of course moving toward the upside later on. Meaning for SUI can be very, very likely that we continue simply toward the upside here for something as a new high, even in case you are in WX and a Y finish over there, but you didn't took the low. That's why higher possibility that you might be in a triangle here, since you took only the 886, yeah, which is a very typical fib level for a triangle wave C, and then moving towards higher prices later on after you finish this triangle. Meaning currently, if we are in a wave D, we are looking, of course, after a zigzag wave D towards higher prices for SUI. Yep, so that was it for SUI. Let's see render. So for render, you know that we are looking already at this triangle before the drop here. And after 3 waves toward the upside as a zigzag, we have finished the wave A. We might be here in 3 waves down, triangle for a wave B, and we're looking for a wave C. Now, the wave C has to be, of course, a structure, can be a 3 waves structure as a zigzag or as a flat. It can still require more time, of course, but don't forget that also you can still have a 3 waves toward the upside before you move down here. Meaning, if you have a potential A, the wave B can be higher, and then we get a wave C later on to finish a wave Y. So we gotta be careful if this is gonna turn something like this to finish, of course, the structure, and then start to move for higher prices in a bull run here. That might be, of course, a very possible scenario. Now, if we dive also on the micro level, we can see also in the micro level that we have kind of like 3 waves there. We cannot really count something impulsive, but it can be the regular flat, which it is unfolding here, kind of like an A, B, and a C toward the upside. And that means, of course, you might be looking here for, of course, in case that you are in an ABC there, you might still look after, of course, a wave 5, but don't forget, of course, that the invalidation has been taken very clearly here, right? Invalidation of bearish. And that means, of course, very interesting that the things start to shift for higher prices. We don't have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I think also we are getting something like a W, X, and a potential wave Y. Now, it can be a wave Y finished here. Well, yes, it can be, guys. It can be like 3 ways down, 3 ways up here, 3 ways down again, failing to take the low again, and you start to move impulsively toward the upside. So very, very interesting as well. Now, how to make sure that we are really moving in a bullish scenario, which is bull run or new all-time high? Well, the 3.21 is very, very essential, of course, in case we want to move for higher prices. So this WXNY, I believe, of course, yes, it can be a potential scenario for finished structure here, and we're looking at something impulsive toward the upside. Currently, if we take this as a potential wave 1 here, you can see that a 2.618 has been taken here for a wave 3, which is very interesting, right? And we're looking for a potential for an F5. However, even I believe that this is your potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, yeah, it can be wave 3 with a short wave 3 internally, but longer than the wave 1, and then wave 5 very extended. Yeah, so this also can be a possibility, unless, of course, you are kind of in an impulse 1, 2, and then 3, and this is your wave 4 and a 5. Meaning by okay, however you turn it here, you're still, of course, looking for higher prices, I would say. Unless, of course, the things are going to shift downward here in a leading diagonal, and we fail to take the high, and then we drop down again. So key level to be watched right now. Now this is of course potential here, potential bull run. All right. So this is your potential bull run key level. The key level, of course, to continue for higher, well, simply continuation toward the upside. But don't forget, if we dive deeper again, and especially if you take this low, yeah, this one here. Here we go. So this might be, of course, invalidation of bullish. All right. Preferably to not dive, because if you dive here deeper, you directly invalidate, yeah, the bullish scenario. So that would be a signal there, of course, at the $2.19 for render as bearish. So you gotta be careful with this one. Okay, so very interesting. 3.21 might be, of course, the signal for a bull run, meaning new all-time high. Yes, can be very likely there, especially if we take, of course, higher than this. But I believe, yes, it can be, guys. But currently, of course, we still need to wait for the signal and for the key level. For FET, if we take a look also at FET here on the daily, so on the daily for FET, you know, we are in a WX and a Y here. Definitely wave Y, because very clear, of course, a zigzag structure finishing here as a wave Y, finishing wave A in 3 waves, and we move, of course, 3 waves down. Now followed by a triangle for another drop, and here we are. It's dropping down. Now, what is very remarkable that if this is a wave A and this is your wave B and your wave C, I believe it is not finished. And I believe that something bigger than a wave C here is unfolding, or something else, which it is, again, the W, X, and a Y. The wave Y might be the zigzag A, B, and a C. And currently you are in a wave B toward the upside, can be very likely before unfolding a wave C to finish up here, kind of like a 3-wave zigzag, which is replying at the same for a W and the X as a triangle. So that would be a very clear correction, finishing exactly on the time required, of course, for WX and a Y, and then moving toward the upside. So on the lower time frame, what you should be careful with it is, of course, a reversal toward the downside at any time, which it can be, but currently, of course, we're still watching what's going to happen if this impulse is going to continue for higher, because you are in 1, 2, 3 right now for an F5. Well, very interesting to take this invalidation of bearish. Okay, very interesting. If we take the 0.52, that would be nice. But if you take a closer look here, you can see also probably you have also leading diagonal. Yeah, so you gotta be careful. Wave A, B, and a C, it might be very deep. Invalidation again. So yeah, I believe if you take this price again, right? So this is invalidation of bullish as well as a key level. Okay, because once you dive deeper again, that is not possible really so much to move for higher again, despite that you don't take the invalidation there. This is very far anyway. So the thing is that we gotta be careful. It can be a very fast wave B here, where you have an A, B and a C, of course, to unfold something for lower, of course, to finish this W, X, and a Y, right? So yeah, these are the possibilities right now for FET. So very likely that most of the coin in this video are going to move for higher prices since we are still above the invalidation of the bullish. But of course, we are not yet cleared or confirmed for a bullish scenario for a new all-time high, but we are very clear that we are doing a rebound, a rally here as a bullish green prices a little bit until we finish kind of like a wave B and then dropping down probably, of course, in case we don't take, of course, higher prices as a bullish scenario. Yep, so these are the updates for SUI, Render, and FT. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.